Buzz, you tapped in? Okay, Goose, you tapped in too? All right, Chicago, y'all tapped in? All right, boys, let's crack 'em. Feel like Mike in the fourth with the ball in my hands and I'm taking a shot. I'm the king in the madhouse on Madison, whether I make it or not. Now the crowd going crazy, they watching the play and I'm watching the clock. Got my shot in the air and the buzzer go off and I'm watching it drop. This team did things, MJ shot City 6 rings. D-Rose too big, too fast, too strong, history. And we good on that, put Jilla on the track and we good on wax. 3, 2, 1, everybody say Bulls on tap, Bulls on tap. Our city pretty and gritty, Benny the bull in the crowd getting hyper and litty. Me, I'm so drippy, it's slippery, nothing offends me. Banners on banners, we winners. We got the stats in the news, go and subscribe. Hang out with Buzzy and Goose, tapping with us, we the truth. Jilla just murdered the booth.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bulls on Tap. I am your boy Buzz. I'm joined by my dude Goose, aka Bulls Scripted, and we're here to recap a Chicago Bulls loss. First loss of the season, 102-100. Before we do that, be sure to go on TapSportsNet.com for all your Chicago sports literature and podcasting needs. Following us on Twitter at Bulls on Tap, at On Tap Sportsnet. Following Goose at Bulls Scripted, me at Buzz on Tap. Anywhere you can listen to podcasts, you can listen to us, 5-star rating and review, because that's cool and tough. If you're watching on Twitter or Facebook, go over to the YouTube, On Tap Sportsnet YouTube, hit the subscribe button and hop into the comments section, because that's awesome. Got our boy Senor in here already. I would have lost my shit if that ball went in. Yeah, how cool would that have been if that ball would have went in at the end of that game there? That would have been pretty sweet. I hate the play call, but I think it would have been pretty cool.
Yeah, no, that was the first thing you said off air, was that you were not a fan of the play call. And obviously I agree. Like, going to something that is not DeMar DeRozan's strong suit to try to win you the game just doesn't seem right. I would have rather seen you have Kobe take the three, especially knowing that everybody on the Washington Wizards team, the bench, the fans, everybody knew that DeMar DeRozan was taking the shot after what happened last time. So it was just kind of disheartening to see that that's what we drew up for the final play. I would have much rather have seen the conservative safe play and push for overtime. Not that it should have ever really come to this. You know, we had that run in the third quarter against us where it was just horrible.
Yeah, it was. I don't know, man. That second quarter, I mean, we got outscored by 10. I mean, first quarter we started off good. The game started with that IO dunk. You know, the Bulls were they were being very aggressive, going to Vooch very early, establishing the paint. He was getting fouled. He was getting to the free throw line. He shoots a career high. Or 12, or what was it? 12 for 12, the best he's ever shot from the free throw line. So he went 12 for 12 tonight from the free throw line. He finishes with 24, 7, and 1. He did shoot 5 for 14 though, 2 for 7 from downtown. That three is still not falling for him. You know, like I said, they started off pretty decent, and then it all came to a screeching halt, really. Especially in that second quarter, they were being sloppy. They were turning the ball over a little bit. Then, I mean, let's be honest, Kyle Kuzma just started beating the shit out of us, and that was kind of annoying. I will say, all the Patrick Williams Kuzma trade talk, we're going to get into that. Remember that? No, we're not going to do that. Not going to do that. Yeah. You know what you learn from being a Chicago White Sox fan, and my boy Senor is in here right now, so he'll verify this. Never fall in love with the prospects, man. Never fall in love with the raw talents. You know why? Because they hurt you in the end. They usually 9 times out of 10 hurt you. And that's what Patrick Williams is doing to this basketball team. Don't believe me? He was minus 23 tonight in the box score. Minus 23.
His matchup ate all night. Watching him try to get around these little chip screens that he just, for whatever reason, either isn't aware that they're coming or doesn't care to get around them. Kuzma ate him up. Plain and simple.
And it wasn't even close. No. I mean, it looked like Tyson was fighting an infant out there.
Pat, did you see Pat very much in the fourth quarter?
No. He only played 24 minutes tonight. Every other starter was over 30. He played 24.
And rightfully so. I mean, he's not doing anything offensively. He just stands in the corner. Doesn't get that much respect because teams know that they can close out on his slower jump shot. So they'll give him space and play off of him and cheat off of him because they know they can get back to contest his shots. So as much as we see Pat's positive percentages throughout his career so far, it is a little misleading. Situationally, he's given better opportunities than most shooters. And obviously, so are players like Javonte Green, who are still not quite as good of, catch and shoot players as Pat. But it's really hard to watch because defensively, he's supposed to be the stopper. And if he was that, if he was a Matisse Thybulle or anybody of that kind of caliber defensive player, you could deal with the lack of offensive output. But when he's supposed to be this two-way phenomenon that you're waiting to take place and take place for DeMar when his contract runs up, like, we're not seeing any of that. And if he was doing something on either end of the floor that stood out at an elite level, it would be nice. But you see mediocre to nothing from him all the time, and it sucks.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's hard. It's hard to watch. Like I said, I mean, he looks slow going.
Marketing.
Right, I know. I mean, he looks slow going off screens. He can't pull the trigger out there on the court on anything. He takes 5 shots tonight. I mean, he's 7 points and 2 rebounds, both of them offensive, and 1 block. I mean, it's a Tony Snell stat line with the Bulls. And seriously, like, and I agree. I mean, everybody's going, oh, you're hating on him too much. No, dude, like, we are supposed to be competitive. That's the thing here. That's what's different between years past to now. We are supposed to be competitive. And this guy starting is a hole.
In the years past, we had Lauri Markkanen putting up almost 20 and 10. Like, you had something to be excited about, even if it was empty calories because you're losing. We are just asking Pat to compete and take on his matchup and win his matchup on a nightly basis. Like, you should at least compete with Kyle Kuzma. You did not compete at all tonight, and that's disheartening. Like, it's you and Ayo Dosunmu with Zach and Zoe out for these first 2 games are who we needed to step up and who we need to step out throughout this year to be a contender instead of just a fringe playoff team. And only Ayo in the first game has shown that potential is there.
Even tonight, he showed some aggressiveness. The shot wasn't falling tonight for him. He did make a boneheaded foul there. I mean, he was really closing out hard, and I got to give him credit for that. It's a close game. I know that it was a foul. It's just he didn't shoot well. He had 7 points, 3 for 9 from the field, 1 for 4 from downtown. He had 7 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. He had no turnovers though. No turnovers in 31 minutes. He's protecting the ball.
That Kuzma foul that you're talking about, I get basketball is a finesse game, but it kind of reminds me of like roughing the passer in the NFL. Like,
yeah, a little bit.
The intent is right. Like, you are closing out as hard as you can to do your best, and oh shit, this guy sold the call. And Kuzma did sell that call very well. There was a foul there, but it feels bad to criticize a player for trying too hard.
Yeah, right.
But in that instance, you do have to know how to hold back and just contest. And
I mean, you've heard it in the video games and on the live broadcasts forever. Never foul a shooter. I mean, it's just something that you got to live with if they hit the shot. Just don't give him an opportunity if he misses the shot to go get 3 gimmies at the charity stripe. So I mean, that's just kind of where I'm at with that. I mean, he didn't play too bad. Our bench, when they came in the second, they were doing some great things. Everybody on our bench tonight finished plus in the plus minus. You have Kobe White in 31 minutes at plus 17. You've got Dragic in 23 minutes at plus 22, which is a team high. You have Drummond in 18 minutes at plus 8. And Javonte, even though he didn't play very well, he went 0 for 4. He didn't score, but he had 2 assists and a steal and a rebound. He was a plus 2. The only other plus on the team was DeMar DeRozan at plus 1. Vooch, Caruso, and Dosunmu and Patrick were all minus tonight in that. Our bench played well again. I really like the bench. I mean, that was 27 points off the bench tonight for the Bulls.
Well, no, given that the bench did not win the battle in the first half, as you pointed out, the second half they really came out strong.
Yeah.
I feel like Dragic is trying to feel out what his role is here, if he's supposed to be a facilitator or a scorer, because he's capable of doing both. And in that second half, we saw him kind of be forced to be that initiator on the offensive end and take some uncomfortable shots, hit a lot of couple tough faders, as well as a 3-pointer, which we need the spacing Obviously, we saw Billy at the end of the game for that last play where DeMar took the three, swapped Caruso for Kobe just because of how much the Wizards were playing off of Caruso. So I don't know what the answer is. Was it the starting lineup? Did we go too defensive heavy? Did that work the first time? And second time, now we have mixed results.
I mean,
with Zach back tomorrow, hopefully, as we all anticipate, that solves all of that. But
well, yeah, right. I mean, you have Caruso go back to the bench. I think you probably move into a 10-man rotation at that point instead of this 9-man rotation we've been getting. I don't really know what to expect from Zach tomorrow. I mean, the only thing that Bulls I really think have going for him tomorrow is that Garland's not playing. He's been ruled out. So,
okay.
Yeah. So he's out tomorrow. But
what's the report there?
I don't remember. I would have to look. All I know is that I saw it.
Sorry, didn't mean to slowly roll you.
No, it's okay. I'll type it in and fucking find out in a minute. But yeah, when Zach comes out tomorrow, I mean, we just need other scoring besides DeRozan. You know, and again, Io helped in that first game a lot. There's a lot of good things that happened in the first game. There's some good things that happened tonight. Some bad things that happened tonight. I just didn't like the sloppiness with the ball, to be honest. They had 13 turnovers, which they didn't have as many turnovers as Washington did. I just felt like they came at inopportune times when the Bulls were getting on a run. There was like they had like a stretch of 3 turnovers in a row there in the third quarter. I mean, it was just it was mind-blowing. It was infuriating, you know. They just got to be a little bit more conscious of not doing that. Other than that, dude, they chucked up 27 3-pointers tonight, so kind of on par of last year. They only hit 7 of them, shot 26%. They only shot 41% from the field. Washington shot 51% from the field and 38% from downtown. So the free throws really kept the Bulls in the game because Washington only took 11. The Bulls took 33. And to Chai Sports fan earlier, you know, the
eye injury.
Oh, was it the eye injury? So it is. It's an eye injury. If the Bulls would have hit all their free throws, you know, we would have won the game. I love
if they would have hit all of them, which they got triple that the other team got.
Yeah, they would have won the game.
That seems a little unfair. And I get we have DeMar DeRozan.
He didn't even take the ball. Oh yeah, he did. He took 11. So he went 10 for 11 and Vooch went 12 for 12. So yeah, Vooch and
we doubled them up with our 2 All-Stars.
Hey, it's nice that it happens to us every once in a while, bro.
Yeah, I mean it is. Unfortunately, we didn't capitalize because we played so poor offensively everywhere else that having that advantage just kind of made it a wash.
Yeah.
And it sucks because the point that stood out to me is literally the fast break where Pat botches the bounce pass from Io. And then the Wizards go on a 10-0 run in the second quarter there. And that, to me, felt like the game. Like, for the most part, it was kind of back and forth. Bulls kind of had that little bit of a lead until that point. And then from there, Wizards closed out that second pretty good, had a good start to the third, and we were playing catch-up.
Right, and I'll give the Bulls a ton of credit for the you know, clawing back in the game, as Stacey likes to say, and getting back in there. What I did find pretty funny is just the balance of the Washington Wizards offense. Didn't you? I felt like it be very Beal heavy. You know what I mean? And I just felt like it was very like Beal was not just looking to score, but he was looking to get his teammates involved. Like, and I haven't really sat and watched a Washington Wizards game in a long time. I don't know if this is a new thing that they're kind of doing or if this is something that existed last year, besides like when we beat their ass. You know, it's cool. It's cool. They can have one. But dude, he had 8 assists tonight. He's one of the best scorers in the league. He had 8 assists, 19 points, only took 14 shots, incredibly efficient, and he hits the game winner.
Yeah, I mean, ever since that Westbrook season, it feels like they haven't had much of a true point guard. He has been put in that role that we've seen Zach put in as well, where you have to be that just overall initiator. You're running the offense. You're the best option. Pulling gravity to you from the other defenders is the best option for your team.
Yeah.
And he's evolved in that role. And I think it also helps when you've signed a pretty lucrative max contract extension to where now it doesn't matter if you share the ball because like you already got yours. After that contract, it's all downhill.
I tell you though, man, I love the way he plays. He's very fun to watch play the game.
He is. No, I liked his enthusiasm at the end of the game when DeMar contested his layup, and he felt he got fouled. He's like, the fuck?
Yeah, right.
This guy's got how many free throws? I can't get one? Come on. Blow the whistle. I'm at home.
He didn't take a free throw, Goose.
What? Not a single free throw.
No, I'm looking up and down. So that motherfucking Kyle Kuzma got 7. He hit 6 of them. I'm gonna butcher his last name. The Rui, right?
Rui Hachimura?
Hachimura, thank you. Hachimura. He took 4 free throws. So that was it. The only free throws went to Kuzma and Hachimura. That's it.
What?
Yeah, Beal didn't get one. Denny didn't get one. Kristaps didn't get one. Morris didn't get one. Will Barton didn't get one. Yeah. DeLon Wright didn't get one. Neither Daniel Gafford. The only free throws went to Kuzma and Hachimura.
Shy.
Yeah, he did. He did. Rui did shit on Pat, dude. Yeah, he did.
Everybody shit on Pat. I mean,
it ain't hard.
There was a point in the game where Gafford shit on Drummond, and then Kuzma was about to shit on Drummond. He said, I ain't doing this back to back. I'm getting out of here. And shout out to Juice Manco. I hope I didn't butcher that too bad, buddy, from Germany. Of course, crack him. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, and I do agree with Juice here. He said a very stagnant offense. I mean, we heard Stacey bitch about it a couple times, and we know how Stacey could be when he's doing his commentating. Love Stacey King. I mean, I'm very blessed as a Bulls fan to have him. He makes me laugh. I love having an announcer that I feel like the highs of highs with and the lows of lows with. Like when you go to Sox baseball, you get that dickhead Steve Stone who just feels like he could tell you everything, like you're a moron and you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, yeah, I called him out. Don't care. Fuck him. He didn't like me anyway. I don't like him either. But there goes any potential partnership we ever had with Steve Stone here at OnTap Sportsnet. Anyway,
I feel like that bridge is probably sailed a long time ago at this point.
I just burnt. Yeah, fuck that guy. But you know how Stacey usually is with a bunch of stuff. But when he got really irritated in the first is when Vooch was actually getting the ball on the block and really working his way down into the post. No one was moving, man, and it's just like, damn, you know, like what? Do what you were doing against Miami. Start moving around. Shake it up. And then you have Pat Williams just fucking sitting there with a 1,000-mile stare, you know, and I'm picking on him a little bit. Everybody else should have been moving, but I am picking on Pat a little bit. It was his time to shine, man. These two games, I thought he was going to do something because Zach was out. Something. I've got nothing.
We're still just waiting, and I'm loving the tweets that I'm seeing that are like, oh, he's 921. Fuck. That time went quick. He can buy his own booze, and we still don't know if he's going to be a starting player in the NBA.
Seriously, he's not a starting player on this fucking team.
No, I mean, it feels so gifted at this point that it hurts.
It's like we know Caruso. Listen, we know Caruso's not a starter on this team. We know it. He's filling a void right now, right? We know. I mean, I love Io, and you know, like I'm a homer for that kid. But I know if Lonzo is healthy, as much as I love Io.
Wait, reel it back in here. You mean after the first game, you're not ready to trade Lonzo Ball?
That is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. You know what I mean? That is just the dumbest shit I've ever fucking heard.
You saw him out there. Those tweets were pretty rampant after the first game.
I saw a couple of them, but like, listen, if the injuries keep happening and like he cannot come back, do I feel comfortable with moving forward with Io? Yeah.
Yes. Pay the man.
Pay the man so we have some sort of security, right? But like by no means if like Lonzo comes
on the roster in general, like
right,
probably around regardless of the situation, pay that man,
right?
But you do not have to trade Lonzo to do that. Like
no,
he has not shown that much, let alone in one game, to make you feel comfortable in that state.
I hate the fact that we're even talking about it and acknowledging it. To be honest with you, but I do have to say, bro, like. Listen, I get the injury aspect of things. The guy has been injured a lot in his career. But when the 35 games that he played last year, this team was in tops in offensive and defensive efficiency. And that's not a coincidence. It's not. They're playing real well. I don't think they were going to win the championship because we saw some holes come out there. And then, you know, Zach got hurt, well, everything like that, whatever. But they were very good. If he is healthy, he is the best option right now. at the starting point guard position. I love Ayo Dosunmu. He's my favorite player, one of my favorite players on the team, top 3 for sure. But trading Lonzo Ball, that is just the dumbest shit.
Wait, top 3? I need to hear this.
Well, my top 3 favorite players on the Bulls?
Yeah, I mean, because that means you're no longer a ball boy. If you're going Zach, DeMar, Ayo, you're
I'm not. See, that's where you're wrong.
Oh, where am I wrong? All right. Let's have it.
Okay,
let's
get the fucking conversation going then. All right, so everybody in the comments, so your fucking 3 favorite Bulls currently on there right now, and we'll see how this lines up if you want to. If you don't, that's fucking fine too. I'm gonna no particular order: DeMar DeRozan, Lonzo Ball, Ayo Dosunmu. Number 4, Javonte Green, Power Hour. I'm just kidding. Probably Vooch, probably number 4. I like Vooch a lot. But yeah, I'd say those 3 are probably my favorites. Zach's not my favorite. I like Zach. I think Zach's a good player.
All right. At this point, I now have to ask you, because you said Vooch before Zach. Zach in your top fucking 5, bro? What just happened?
He's at like 6, I think. I like Caruso a lot too. I like Zach. I think Zach's a great player. Like, I'm not hating on him. I'm just personal preference. It's not who the best basketball player is. It's just personal preference.
I'm glad that was not the question. Just personal preference in favoritism.
Yeah, favoritism.
Zach is 6.
Yeah, I think so. I like Zach, dude, but this shit really pissed me off. This might be recency, but I'm not sure.
Oh, it's the knee. It's the lack of playing in the first 2 games.
It might be. I'm a little fucking irritated. Okay.
All right, I think that's fair, so and I think we should incorporate that into your ranking series.
Well, my rankings are not solidified. This is not the fucking 10 commandments written in stone here, okay? It's going to fluctuate up and down based on my feeling. Right. Like,
when Zach plays tomorrow, I'll ask you again tomorrow. We'll go from there. Because
fucking look at Chaz.
Because
he's got Vucevic, Simonovic, and Costas Antetokounmpo. All right, who we got here? DeMar, Ayo, Caruso. See, that's a good 3. Zach's not in his. You're not busting his nuts about it.
I just met Juice. I've done 3 episodes with you. Like, this is mind-blowing to me. Our max player, the guy that we're basing our future on, is 6th.
Yeah, dude. Listen, okay, hang on here. I've said on this show a million fucking times, I think that Zach LaVine should have gotten the max. I think that that's what should have happened.
That's right. No, I forget about our post-show conversations sometimes.
I don't think that Zach LaVine is a 1A guy. I don't think that. I think that now when a team is built like how I felt the 35 games of health was before Patrick Williams went down, I mean, even though fuck him anyway. Not fuck him. I'm sorry, Pat. You're not a bad person. You're playing really shitty, and it's really hurting my feelings. If you ever see this, which I know you won't. But anyway, like I just feel like if this team is fully healthy, it can do some things. It's like one of those teams. It's like what year is that? 2010, 2011 Denver Nuggets. Like I know they didn't have an all-star, but they had like Will Barton, Danilo Gallinari over there. Kenneth Faried. They had all these really good players, and they were like doing some cool shit.
So you think AK is just doing super math and trying to put the perfect combination of players together because he knows he can't land that superstar?
No, I still believe that AK and Mark Eversley are in the infancy of what they're trying to do here, and they're trying to make this become a destination that is, wanted.
When you say infancy, are they planning on having a Garpax tenure? Do they get 10, 15 years?
Listen, their first year, they come in and they take some fucking swings to see what happens here.
But those swings could be your nails in the coffin.
They could be.
You forfeited a whole rebuild that took place for 3 years for Vucevic for the most part.
Yeah, but let's be honest.
We are being honest. We traded a whole rebuild for Vucevic.
I like Vucci. He's in my top 4. I'm just saying, listen, man. He took a swing. He gave it a shot.
You just reminded me that Vucci is ahead of Zach in your list. And I don't know how to feel about this.
That's a little fucked up, I think, now that I go back and think about it. Yeah. But I'm going to keep it because I ain't going to walk it back.
All right. No walking back.
Yeah, I ain't going to walk it back. I don't know about AK and Mark Eversley yet. I do like DeMar's been real fun. I like Ayo a lot.
Hey, I saw a tweet earlier today that had me contemplating it, and I guess we'll throw it out here for your opinion and anybody else's
Yeah,
opinion.
let's fucking have fun with this. Friday night, who cares? You know, we
Is
lost.
DeMar DeRozan the best free agent signing the Chicago Bulls have ever had?
Second,
Behind?
Eddie Robinson. Okay. No, yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's the best. No doubt about it. Oh, Powell was real good.
See, that's the only person that I could put into contention, and that's because Powell had 2 All-NBA selections after coming here.
Yeah, two
He
times straight all. Yeah.
Came here at an opportune time where it was, a contention situation if Rose would have been healthy. So, I think I still have to go with DeMar. I don't think we were talking about anybody else that we've signed in free agency, although it was a sign-and trade. So I don't know if that kind of muddies the water.
It still counts. I mean, he's done some shit, dude. Like, listen, he was an MVP candidate. He's definitely been probably the best Chicago Bulls free agent signing of all time.
Okay.
I give it for sure.
I guess we can not pencil it. We're going to ink it in because
we're going to ink it in. I wonder how he feels about how Patrick's been performing.
No, I mean, you go into the offseason, you invite this guy into your routine and just your whole entire atmosphere, and you endorse it publicly to the media. And, this guy got it in, and
he somehow came out worse. I'm not sure what happened.
I feel bad talking bad about Pat. Because
so do I, dude. I don't want him to be bad. I didn't want him to be bad. But, that's the thing.
I feel like it's one of those unfortunate cases of a really smart, really nice guy who just might not really love this shit. Like, I don't know if anybody else. Yeah, I don't know if anybody else saw the offseason video where Thaddeus Young is talking to camp kids, and he's talking about how he worked this hard to get his first contract, and he got his second contract, and he got his third contract. I got my fourth contract, and the grind doesn't stop. It doesn't end when you get the first bag. It doesn't end when you get the hype. You can never stop. You have to love it. You have to want it. And I think Pat is one of those people that might just be naturally gifted, is a good person and is a smart person. And he has all these intangible things that make him a potential 4th overall pick.
Right.
But I don't think his heart is in it. I don't think that he ever really truly wanted to be a superstar. He was happy playing basketball. He probably loved the camaraderie and the sportsmanship of it.
Quite the hot take.
But he's never really had that. I'm that dude.
No, he was a bench warmer at Florida State.
So,
and that's what I mean. When we go back we really go back and look at this. You've known me for 5 years, 6 years now. I'm a college basketball junkie. That's what I like to watch. I love college basketball. This dude wasn't really that much shit in college. Florida State was a good program. He benefited from the good program. It is what it is. There was a good team that he was on. When we drafted him, there's a reason the picture in there broke. I didn't want that. There were so many people that went behind him. And I'm not. This loss is not his fault. I know we're titling this post game. We fucking lost, and we're Bulls fans, and we're just getting into a whole crazy conversation. So if you're along for the ride, great. If you're not, I totally get it. But I watch him play, dude, and I watch the lift on his jump shot, right? And I'm like, it's there. I watched the form on his jump shot. I feel like that flick of the wrist. It's there. I watch him get into the lane when he is sometimes when he is being aggressive. The dude's hand is bigger than the fucking ball. This guy can do some serious fucking damage. I think that the talent is there. So if someone's going to argue with me about the talent being there, and when you say someone says he sucks or something, the talent's there. But what a lot of analytical people don't like within this could be baseball, football, basketball, or whatever, is what our buddy just said. And I believe in this. The dog mentality. I know it's cliche. I know it sounds stupid, but if you don't
give him what Javante has,
he'd be a superstar.
Would have a superstar. You would. And I don't know if that comes out of Javante because he's been through the mud. He's had to go to Europe to make a name.
Think about it. He was a fucking guy just thrown in a trade for shits and giggles. You say it all the time.
He was thrown in a trade that was based on the Celtics saving money, and they said, "Oh, you match with the cap. We don't see potential in you for the future." And now he's pushing for a starting spot on our roster against the number 4 pick. And it is literally just the dog mentality in him because he does not have the intangibles. He doesn't have the size that Pat does. But you see the chippiness and you see the desire to get into these guys' chests on defense.
Right.
He wants it, and Pat just doesn't.
Yeah, it's just so odd to me. And even what our buddy Chai Sports fan just said here, like Joe said that he was that Pat is catering to Levine and DeMar and doesn't know how to play with them. Well, listen, Levine hasn't played in 2 games, and this guy just spent all offseason with DeMar. If you can't form some sort of chemistry there and figure out how to play off of each other after literally going from the regular season last year, I know you were hurt, but you were still involved in practices. You could see and watch this guy play. You can as you're on the sideline, and then you come in and you get I don't know, what was it, a 14-game run with DeMar at the end of the season, and then into the playoffs where you ultimately lose. Then you go into the offseason where you're with him. If you can't learn to play, then the IQ's not there. I don't know the basketball IQ. I'm saying he's done. I'm saying the basketball IQ's not there. What else could it be? What would make sense? There's nothing that makes sense with that. And I still don't get it. Like I said, I see all the tools that everybody talks about. I don't see he cannot put it together on the court. And in a season where you really want to compete, the goal is to win a playoff series. They didn't set unrealistic expectations during media day, and that's one thing. I know we were getting some hate on from our buddy Juice here on our Taurus, but hey, I like realistic expectations. I don't like bullshit. If you live in Chicago, you know bullshit expectations. They're set by every GM, every fucking coach, all the time, and it's really deflating because it never comes to fruition. These guys set winning a playoff series.
When you had to watch the Washington broadcast, you watched Bradley Beal talk about how much he wants to win and doesn't care about money after signing a max contract.
Right.
A super max contract. No, I mean, I don't fault anybody in the front office, but it's just at a certain point, that was their first biggest decision.
Oh, it sure was. Yeah.
And to this point, like, we're in extension year. He's going to be in Kobe White territory. They're going to be going to restricted free agency after next year. They're going to be making him bring an offer sheet to the table that they have to question whether or not they want to match. And it is. We saw it. Kobe White played 31 minutes tonight to Patrick Williams 24. And you're talking about a player that is one-dimensional. Kobe isn't a defensive player, though he did have some ballin'-ass rebounds tonight.
I'll say that he really tried staying ahead of fucking Beal when he was guarding him tonight, too. Kobe moved his feet a little bit. Even when he was on Morris a couple times tonight. He was on DeLon Wright a couple times tonight when DeLon was trying to get into the paint, and I felt like Kobe really did make a more conscious effort of trying to play a little bit of defense. And I'll give him credit where credit's due. I wish he would do it all the time, but tonight, credit where credit's due. He tried staying in front of the offensive player, and he was looking for a shot. He's trying to be smart with his shot selection this year, and that's kind of funny to me. 31 minutes, 6 shots for Kobe White doesn't seem like Kobe White.
No, that does not compute.
Yeah, that's just kind of odd.
Especially with the lack of offense.
Right.
Because these 2 games without Zach would have been the time for him to be a little over-aggressive.
I would actually agree with you. I mean, just shoot, dude. Like, someone's got to do something to help get some offense going alongside Vooch and DeMar. They can't do it themselves. I mean, it's just point-blank period. I mean, hopefully that tomorrow night will get some help with Zach LaVine supposedly making his season debut against the Cleveland Cavaliers. That will be at the United Center, just so everybody knows. That'll be at the United Center tomorrow night, home opener, 7 o'clock. Bulls, Cavs. Cavs are 0-1. Are they playing? Are they coming off a back-to-back, or are they off tonight?
I think they're off tonight.
They are off tonight. Ain't that some shit?
Well, it's
the Bulls dirty, dude.
It's not good to admit, but I'm a little salty that Garland just got an eye issue. I was a little bit hoping, like maybe
be out for
a little stretch of the season to where the Bulls could kind of stay right in that.
I hope he's all right, man. I hope he just don't want to play.
Yeah. You hope he's scared.
I hope he's a little scared. What can you do?
I'll be honest. When I look at a team that's got Io and Caruso in the starting lineup, obviously Zach should be there tomorrow. Hopefully, quotations there because we really don't know until probably a couple hours until game time if he's going to go.
You know what? Tomorrow is the first home opener I'm missing in like 10 years.
I'm going to probably be scoping tickets on the apps there and find my way to the game. Because
Now, you just let me know. If you actually do that, I might try to end up there. I don't know for sure yet. Yeah, I'll be in your neck of the woods tomorrow. I'm picking up half a cow in the morning.
What? You're coming to Rockford to pick up half a cow?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be up there. I'll be up there tomorrow, like 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. Get a cow.
I don't know that Rockford would be the place that I'd come to find a cow, but you know,
I'm very excited, as you can tell.
It's probably where you get a good deal.
You get a really good deal on that cow, bro. I'm telling you what. But you got anything else, man? I mean, you got anything for the matchup tomorrow, or just fucking get out there, win? Hopefully Zach plays. I mean, that's all I have. Hopefully Zach plays. Play your game against Cleveland.
Yeah, I mean, other than the key factor of whether or not Zach LaVine plays in the basketball game, I guess need some more help from the supporting cast. Just on the off chance that Zach isn't there. I get when you have Zach, DeMar, and Vooch that it's mainly on them to provide your 100+ points a night. Like, that's usually what it is. You don't really expect much out of everybody else as long as they get theirs. And most nights, that's a solid plan. But if Zach does not play again, we need to see a lot more from the bench. Earlier in the game, can't be playing catch-up. And we got to see more from players like Patrick Williams.
Right. I will say one thing. If it is a close game tomorrow, hopefully Billy Donovan does not draw up a play like he drew up tonight.
Hey, DeMar, take a 3 at the top of the key. Woo!
Yeah. Just try to fucking tie the game and get a win. We need all the wins we can get in the Eastern Conference this year, even though Philly and Brooklyn look like poo.
Hey, DeMar, we're on a back-to-back. I need you to chuck up that 3 from the top of the key. Win or lose, we're going home. We got a game tomorrow.
Have you watched any? I know we're running a little bit, but have you watched any Brooklyn and Philly?
I know Brooklyn got their ass kicked by the Pelicans.
Yeah, they did. And Philly, Embiid looks cooked.
You think Embiid's done?
I don't know. I said he looked it.
I mean, the first game, I was a little surprised by Harden. I thought that he looked a little bit back to true form and what you expect out of him.
Yeah.
But obviously, once again, one game, not a really legitimate kind of feeler there. But no, that Philly-Boston game, I did kind of feel like Harden took a step forward from last year, and Embiid did take a step back.
Yeah, it's weird, man.
And maybe it's just early in the season, and he's got to get into that groove, into the routine. But it's whew.
Yeah, just not what I expected out of them. So maybe there is hope. Hey, fuck you, Jim. You're late. We're getting out of here. Everybody be sure to go to OnTapSportsNet.com for all your Chicago sports, literature, and podcasting needs. Following us on Twitter at Bulls on Tap and on Tap Sportsnet. Following Goose at Bull Scripted, me at Buzz on Tap. Anywhere you can listen to podcasts, you can listen to us, 5-star rating and review, because that's cool and tough. Go to the YouTube, On Tap Sportsnet YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. It helps. Tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your cousins, tell everybody. Go subscribe. Oh, Jim. If you were in the comment section, listeners, you would understand what Jim was doing right now. It's very inappropriate. Don't let your kids look at this. We'll be back tomorrow, I think, unless Goose shows up or Goose and I show up at the game. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I'm going to put myself under 50% of showing up at the game tomorrow just because I have a lot of shit going on. But I have to get a cow. But if we are, in fact, staying back, we will be here live with Postgame. So make sure you tune in after the Bulls hopefully beat the Cavs. And, yeah, let's go Bulls.